All right, Twitter is combating fake news with some new features. NBC News put up an article. There's a leaked Twitter demo, and they plan on putting, and let's see, they're testing new ways to fight this. And Ben Collins says, here's what it might look like. Might. This is his design. These are screenshots that were left on a public testing site. Twitter confirmed their possible iterations. So these are not official yet. But it's a Bernie Sanders tweet that says 40% of the guns in the country are sold without any background checks. We have to end the absurdity of the gun show loophole. Harmfully misleading. Twitter community reports have identified this tweet as violating community policy on harmful, misleading information. Tweets visibility were reduced. That's bonkers. And this shows you how hard it is to police speech.
Yeah.
Like, this is not Twitter's job to do this. I mean, just from this tweet, this will never work. What do you think, Wade? You have a platform.
I'm glad they're trying.
Yeah.
It's a Herculean task. But Twitter for so long it hadn't changed.
Yeah.
Hadn't tried to do anything. So I like seeing technology companies at least make an attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that there's an attempt to filter out fake news, but I worry that this can be weaponized by troll farms.
Of course.
Right? Because it is community driven rather than, an editorial board or something like that. So I can see this easily being weaponized by people who have wrong intentions.
There's an interesting article on Wikipedia I read a while back. I forget where it was, and maybe the New York Times or something like that, where they talked about how Wikipedia has managed to remain somewhat neutral in a community-driven way, because anyone can make changes to that. And so it really dug into how two polarizing sets of people can attack a controversial topic inside of Wikipedia and come out with something that reads fairly
That's
neutral.
They pause the page, they lock it down. Mm-hmm. They've got this cobble of early editors who kind of all agree.
Yeah. Like
librarians. I think the co-founders, Larry Sanger and Jimmy Wales, co-founders of Wikipedia. Really, Larry Sanger was the person who actually came up with the concept, and Jimmy Wales took credit for it because he paid for the servers, which is a little point of history. And they locked those pages down. Those people are all librarians in that early cohort. They went to learn people with library science degrees. So what's actually happened is when a page gets, really controversial, they just lock it down and they don't let anybody's edits go through.
Yeah.
And then if they'll lock it a month later if there aren't a bunch of edits. If it happens again, they just lock it down. Any controversial page. And here's where it gets, when you want to talk about how insane it is to try to do this. The potential UI, question 1, given current evidence, is it likely this tweet contains harmfully misleading information that could cause real-world harm to individuals of society? Likely harmful, misleading, unlikely harmful, misleading. Question 2, what percentage of the community members will answer the same as you? The more accurate your answer, the more your report will count. The more you receive. Question 3, and they have a slider from 0 to 100%. What about this tweet does or does not make it harmlessly? This is the kind of interface that's so easy, as you're saying, to just game.
Yeah.
The Russians are like, thank you. Yeah. Clear shot on goal. Everything Trump says is 87% true. Everything that Bloomberg says is 14% true. Block her up. Isn't this already built into Twitter that you can reply and retweet people and fact check them? So why not just, if I was Twitter, you know what I'd do? I would hire a third-party company with 20 serious researchers on it, make it public who those researchers were, and then have a Twitter account called @FactCheck. And I would make that account verified. I'd explain what that account does. And I would say, every day, look at the trending tweets and reply to them with a fact check. Based on what these 20 people say. We have gone away from the age of respecting expertise to thinking the crowd knows better. The crowd does not always know better. Quotes from the article. Disinformation or misleading information posted by public figures will be corrected directly beneath the tweet by fact checkers and journalists who are verified on the platform and possibly other users who participate in the community reports. Okay, well, that was just my idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize
they already
that.
did it.
There you go. In one iteration of the demo, Twitter users could earn points and a community badge if they contribute to good faith. Yeah, I would not make this a community thing. I would literally hire 20 experts and let those people debate it on a different form. And actually, I had this idea. I bought the domain name annotated.com, and I still own it. And my idea was to just hire 20 fact checkers, maybe when I retire I'll do this, and just have them annotate stuff on the web they think is right or wrong. How would you do, Wade? What would you do here? What would your approach be? You think this is going to work? You think they're going to execute on this? You said it's nice they're trying. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like it gets heavily slanted towards the majority opinion. Like the majority belief will stand out. And so it could reduce the voice of folks who are just simply underrepresented, which... I don't know if that's good or bad. It seems like we should have all viewpoints represented here. I certainly like the idea of having fact checkers, like literal experts that have sort of, they're digging into these topics, replying to it. So maybe it helps, but I don't know. It seems hard. I'm skeptical.